Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna be going over the. This is Friday. I just wasn't able to do a recap yesterday. I was super busy, so I'm just gonna do it for today. I ended up taking one trade on Thursday. Sorry about that. I ended taking one. I ended up taking one trade on Thursday, and that trade was a break-even trade. So coming into the day, honestly, on Thursday, if please TradingView just stop. Thank you, appreciate it. Coming into today, if we want to go back to market open. So right here, coming in today, I was originally bullish. Originally bullish. Um, I was bullish up to this unfilled daily for value gap up here because we've just been like we're in like a clear market maker buy model right now. Kind of just been trending towards that, and we've been respecting higher time frame PDRAs. We did inverse hourly yesterday, but we just came back into this 4 hour, swept out this 4 hour low, respected it, made it move higher. So with that in mind, I was just pretty bullish. Again, if we go to the 15-minute time frame, look what the overnight session did. We are inversing bearish gaps, respecting bullish, moving higher. Inversing bearish, disrespecting bearish, respecting bullish, delivering from sell side. Good draws higher. Previous day high was higher up as well, which was one of my draws too. Um, but my final draw on the day was this unfilled daily for value gap up here. Okay. Now, my bias was bullish coming into today, but I did end up taking a short because my bias. Well, it's not that my bias was incorrect. Well, it was. It was incorrect, but I didn't do my bias wrong or anything. I do it like I always do, and obviously sometimes you're just not going to be correct with your bias, which is completely normal. But again, I wasn't married to a bias or anything. I did be reactive. So let's have a look what market open does here. So market opens lower. So market opens lower, and we kind of just dump, right? So at this point, what I wanted to see happen happened, because this kind of was spoiling it, but right here, and we are inside of a hourly unfilled for value gap. If I want to mark this out, yeah, it's right here. It's this hourly unfilled. Okay, well, wait. Yeah, see, so we came into this hourly unfill for value gap here, and if we got a rejection out of this, like we had an SMT as well with this internal structure right here too. If we were to inverse a gap out of this, I was looking at this 3 minute for value gap right here, and I think there was also a 1 minute that was leading towards that. No, there wasn't, but I was looking at this 3 minute for value gap. If we inverse this, I would have been willing to take along to the upside off of that, but we didn't. We ended up just displacing even lower, and we came down and we left. So we took out London and then we left relative equal lows with Asia. So we edged Asia. So at this point I was still bearish because this market open was just super bearish. We inversed an hourly gap. We inversed all the PD rays here. And my bias was incorrect, so I was flipping my bias to bearish. And I was bearish down to Asia session liquidity. Um, we left relative equal lows down there. So in my eyes it was a super clean draw. But yeah, this was a pretty aggressive market open to the downside. I know some people did end up taking longs here. I know there were some people that took this 3 minute inversion right here, I think it was, and then went break even at the 5 minute up here and ended up catching a really nice long. I faded it. The reason why I faded it was because we left Asia. So I was like, there's no way we're going to do that aggressive move down and then just leave Asia there. Like that, realistically, that rarely happens when we do that. But it did actually happen today. So we had this unfilled 15 minute for value gap up here. If anything, I was just looking for us to retrace. That would be like the highest I'd want to see us retrace if I wanted to be looking for shorts. So we ended up displacing through some 5 minutes, but we did end up coming into that 15 minute for value gap right here, and we had some really nice signs of rejection when we came into there, and we also had an SMT with this entire structure up here and a CVD divergence. So CVD divergence with the top, we had. Oh no, we didn't actually have a CVD. We had a SMT with the top, so the entire external structure right here. So buy side liquidity, all this up here. We had a SMT. We displaced into the discounted 15 minute, and we had a clear draw lower. We left relative equal lows at Asia, and we displaced through a 5 minute fair value gap. So it was right here, I think, and then on the pullback, this was like I was really confident in this because like I got edged super badly. Um, right here, I was really willing to take this 5 minute short right here and target the unfilled 5 minute down here for just a kind of a bit of over a 1-to-1. I was going to play it like that, but after I seen we fully displaced through this here, I think I waited for a small retrace and it was into this 1 minute for value gap right here. Yeah, then I entered shorts here. Once we retrace into this 1 minute, which was like decent. I took this with super low risk, by the way. I took this with 3 micros. I think my stop was like right here, and then my take profit, I was pretty confident in this, so I targeted the entire draw. I target Asia session. So maybe a little bit greedy with my take profit, but at this point it was like, yeah, cool. I don't know. This trade, it still made sense to me just because of how strongly we displaced through these gaps, like very, very strong displacement through all this. And we ended up coming into the discounted 5 minute here, and I was looking for us to continue to displace through that. We ended up moving pretty low. I think I moved my stop to break even right here, and I moved my stop to break even once ES entered the 5 minute. So ES had a 5 minute down here as well, and entered the discounted 5 minute because I was like, okay, this is definitely an area we could reverse from. Realistically, should I have TP'd there? Yeah, I probably should have, to be honest. I probably should have TP'd when ES entered its discounted 5 minute, but I was super confident in this draw, so I ended up getting taken out here at break even, and it was a good break even because I think we ended up reversing to the upside after this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, ended up coming down. We're kind of consolidating a bit, yeah, and then we ended up delivering higher. I think the PM session delivered us all the way back up. Yeah. Cool. So we still left Asia. So to be honest, coming into Friday, I was like, cool, I'll target Asia. But then I got very busy on Friday. I was in college, had an exam, and I had job as well. Yeah, the forbidden word. I had the job that I had to go to, which is unfortunate. And this was like such a good draw for today. For today's price action. I think we had a really, really clean setup as well. Yeah, we manipulated higher. We did leave relative equal highs at PDH, but I think looking at market open, where was market open? Let me actually skip on the hourly here. Okay, I skipped too far. But let's go back to market open. There's a really nice setup at market open. Here it is here. So market opens lower here, which is okay. But what we did do is we had this 5 minute fair value gap above with 5 minute intermediate highs. And my draw for today would have been Asia session. I wasn't able to trade today. I definitely would have taken this. This is really, really clean. So we had this 5 minute fair value gap up here with this 5 minute intermediate high. I think market open then comes up, takes out this 5 minute intermediate high. We had an SMT here. Then we had this 2 minute fair value gap that opened up here. Really, really clean displacement right through that gap. Would have entered shorts right here. This is in hindsight, by the way, but I can guarantee you I would have taken this. Break even would have been right here at this internal wick, and then full TP just would have been 930 open low. B would have been right here, so cool would have been break even right there, and then the next candle, I'm pretty sure, just delivers to our draw. Very nice. Super clean trade. Wasn't able to take that today, unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure we just displace right down to my final draw, which would have been Asia session. So yeah, the bias was definitely there today. That would have been pretty saucy if we were on the charts today. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's recap. Didn't trade today, wasn't on the charts, got break even yesterday. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. On my Instagram and Discord and my TikTok will also be in the comments below. If you want to add them and ask me any personal questions, go for it. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. I was going to say I'll upload a recap tomorrow, but tomorrow is Saturday. So no market tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, fresh mind going into next week, and hopefully you can catch a few good setups and good trades. Peace. See you guys in the next video.